Here we go then, on to the second formation lap. This is how they line up for round 6 of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. On pole position, number 14, Ronan Pearson, alongside number 40, Aaron Taylor-Smith. Row 2, 88, Mikey Doble, and 16, Aidan Moffat. Row 3, 27, Dan Camish, and 3, Tom Chilton. Row 4, number 32, Dan Rowbottom, and 33, Adam Morgan. Row 5, number 1, Ash Sutton, and number 80, Tom Ingram. Row 6, number 20, Colin Turkington, and 77, Sam Osborne. Row 7, number 22, Nick Halstead, and 18, Daryl De Leon. Row 8, 11, Andrew Watson, and 66, Josh Cook. Row 9, 222, Chris Smiley, and 12, Rob Huff. And row number 10, the final row of the grid, number 24, Jake Hill, and number 29, Scott Sumpton. So you've got Ronan Pearson looking for his first podium, his first win in the British Touring Car Championship on pole position. Aaron Taylor-Smith has been a race winner in the British Touring Car Championship. But it's been a while. We've had the anthem, the Irish anthem, on ice for a while. He's got close a couple of times last season. We thought we might be playing it, but can he get his first win for 8 years nearly? Rockingham 2016, the last time Aaron Taylor-Smith took a race win. So he'll be gunning for it. He's also on the soft tyre. It's going to be all about the start of the race, this, and how quickly you can try and build up an advantage with some quick drivers like Sutton and Ingram coming through on softs as well. But bearing in mind, they've also got less hybrid available to them, which is a bit of a killer these days with that extra 60 brake horsepower rather than 30 that you had before. Mikey Doble, can he get his first win in the BTCC? He's there, third on the grid. Aidan Moffat was a winner at Donington Park last time out. Dan Camish will be trying to do his utmost to come through from 5th on the grid, but without the soft tyre. And Tom Chilton, 6th on the grid, rapid in free practice. Didn't get the car set up right for qualifying yesterday, but he's been rapid today. It's his home circuit. He's won here plenty of times before. Could he do something from 6th on the grid? Or will it be somebody from further back? Could be pretty much any one of them, anyone in that top 10, capable of taking the race victory, I would say. Pretty much. We'll find out how it all unfolds very shortly. 24 laps to go to the checkered flag, and the last couple of rows have now formed up on the grid. So the start procedure gets underway. Ronan Pearson on pole position. A big opportunity for the Scot. Can he get a race victory? Can he get to the first corner first? Red lights come on. The revs rise. We get underway. It's a good start from Aaron Taylor-Smith. It's not such a good start for Ronan Pearson. He bogs down off the line, and Taylor-Smith gets the lead of the race in the Vauxhall straight away. Ronan Pearson will have to settle for second place. It's side by side between Mikey Doble and Aidan Moffat for third. Moffat's got his nose in front and will get third place up at Druids. So not a great start for one Vauxhall, but a very good one for the other. He's in the lead, Aaron Taylor-Smith, looking for this victory, but he's got a long wait, 23 and a half laps to go to try and hang on to it. Dan Camish just behind that group, running in 5th place as well, with Chilton trying to get up the order from 6 in the Hyundai. And it's nose to tail and side by side now for the lead of the race, and he gets it back. Ronan Pearson gets the lead back, coming through Clearways. He's not having any of it. I'm not going to let this chance go, he says. So he nerfs his way back up the inside of Aaron Taylor-Smith and gets back up into the lead of the race. Scottish driver leads, Irish driver second, Scottish driver third. Aidan Moffat knows how to win this year. That team, that car, have got loads of potential. And the Toyota, been driven very well by Aidan Moffat. He was disappointed, downbeat yesterday. He said, we didn't get the setup right at all. It was understeering. There's more to come. Today has been much better, as you heard on the grid. And can he repeat his victory from Donington Park? Mikey Doble in 4th place. Dan Camish in 5th. Bit of contact further back between Sam Osborne and Chris Smiley as they come side by side out through Graham Hill Bend, and bits of bodywork fly off their cars. Through the top 7 now will arrive at Clark Curve. In that mix, you've got Adam Morgan, Dan Rowbottom. Ash Sutton is in 9th place as well. Down to 11th, though, Tom Ingram. He didn't have a very good start to the race, and he's struggling to come through at the moment. So Tom Ingram with work to do, and not tons of hybrid available. Only 6 laps worth at the start of the race. Up into Druids goes the race leader, Ronan Pearson. 2nd place for Aaron Taylor-Smith. 3rd and 4th and 5th, everybody else really. But 3rd is Moffat still. 4th is Doble. 5th then is Tom Chilton. He's got ahead now of Dan Camish. So Dan on the medium tyre suffering a bit. Then it's Adam Morgan making his BMW as wide as he can. He's on the medium tyre. On the soft tyre behind him is the Napa number 1 car of Ash Sutton. He's got ahead of his teammate, Dan Rowbottom. There, 2 Napa Ford Focuses breathing down the neck of the BMW, and breathing down the neck of them is another BMW, Colin Turkington. But he's now having to fend off the resurgent Tom Ingram, who gets up the inside of him as they come absolutely nose to nose over the start-finish line. But Ingram's got the inside line. We know he's rather good on the brakes into Paddock Hill Bend. Smokes the tyres, gets through, gets ahead of Colin Turkington. So that's Ingram, second in the championship, ahead of Turkington, first in the championship. Only a point difference between them at the start of the race, remember. But Ash Sutton was just behind them as well, and he's ahead of the pair of them in this race. So any one of those 3 could walk away from Brands Hatch with the championship lead, depending on where they all finish. We'll worry about that a bit nearer the end of the race. But for now, let's worry about Ronan Pearson, the race leader. He's building up a cushion here, 1.2 seconds clear. He's on the soft. Aaron Taylor-Smith in second, he's on the soft. And then Aidan Moffat in third place, also on the soft tyre. Mikey Doble, remember, is only on the medium tyre, doing a good job at the moment. But will they come after him? Yes, they will, as they come through. Chilton Camish going after him. Morgan is in the mix there as well. And you've also got Tom Ingram starting to work his way nicely up the order as well. So watch for him. Side by side as Tom Chilton tries to slice up the inside of Mikey Doble, and does so at Druids. He gets the corner sorted out of the corner. He's ahead. And 4th place now for the Hyundai with the pink wing mirrors. So number 3, Tom Chilton gaining a place. Further back, we've got the BMW of Adam Morgan wrestling, or in fact Colin Turkington wrestling away with Daryl De Leon. Daryl De Leon's just got ahead of the 4-time champion. He's on the soft tyre. That just shows, doesn't it, what a difference the tyre makes. He's just got past a 4-time champion, a 69-time race winner in the British Touring Car Championship. And he's only had a few weekends in the BTCC. Right, Ronan Pearson leads. Aaron Taylor-Smith second. Aidan Moffat third. Tom Chilton coming after everybody in 4th place. Up to Druids. 2-second advantage, though, now for Ronan Pearson. He'll want Aaron Taylor-Smith to bottle them up for as long as humanly possible. The longer he holds them up in the Vauxhall, the further away he can get. This is a really critical 2 or 3 laps now for Ronan Pearson to try to build enough of an advantage to keep everybody else behind him, including one of his teammates, Tom Chilton, who's looking rapid in 4th place. But for now, Aaron Taylor-Smith is doing a noble job in the Vauxhall. Adam Weaver's team, Power Max, have had great success over the last year. They're getting quicker and quicker. And the Evans, Halshaw-backed car, and the Independence driver, championship leader, runner-up in the Independence Championship last year, Aaron Taylor-Smith, doing a nice job in 2nd place. He's got himself a bit of a breathing space over Aidan Moffat now as they go through up towards Druids. Wasn't quite on his tail that time. Then it's Tom Chilton trying to edge through into a podium position. Mikey Doble still doing a good job in 5th place on the medium tyre. 6th place, he's trying to fend off Dan Camish. And then, no doubt about it, that coming after them over the next 2 or 3 laps will be that number 1 car with clear track in front of him now. Ash Sutton having left that second group behind him. So Ash Sutton on the soft tyre, flying at the moment. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets the fastest lap in at some point soon. So the number 1 car, not with them yet, but trying to catch up to them. As over the line goes Ronan Pearson. A 2.3 second advantage becomes a 2.3 second advantage. He was quicker on that lap, but only by 0.5 of a second. So he grows the advantage ever so slightly. What did Ash Sutton just do? His best lap of the race, 48.553. The fastest driver on the track at the moment is Ash Sutton, number 1, catching up to them in the blue and yellow Napa Ford Focus. And here we go. One of the Ford Focuses goes side by side. It's Dan Camish, his teammate, getting up the inside of Mikey Doble. Both on the medium tyre, those two. They switch around for 5th place at Graham Hill Bend. So a change there. And Dan Camish will see in his mirrors his teammate getting ever closer on the soft tyre. Great drive from Dan from the back of the field. Could have been a much, much better day for Dan Camish had he not picked up that puncture when he was running second in the first race of the weekend. Mikey Doble, very quickly, he's going to succumb to Ash Sutton. By the time they get to Paddock Hill Bend, the number 1 car will be through. So Sutton gains a place as well. Mikey Doble now slips back to 7th. We've got a black and white warning probably for track limits going the way of number 77, Sam Osborne. We've got a penalty for track limits already for Nick Halstead as well. So that puts him at last place with a 5-second penalty. Right, Ash Sutton, keep your eyes on the number 1 car. Next target for him is going to be his teammate, or one of his teammates, Dan Camish in the 27 machine. And he's catching up to him rapidly. He looks so quick on the way through the left-hander at Surtees. Behind him, there might be a change of position as well. Mikey Doble might be about to lose out to Tom Ingram. He does. Ingram smokes his tyres, gets up the inside, and Ingram gains another place, up to 7th now. So Dan Camish, the leading driver on medium tyres. We've got smoke pouring at the side of Tom Ingram's car, though, from the front right corner of the car. That doesn't look good. It could just be bodywork rubbing on the tyre. But it didn't look great as it came over the start-finish line. It's cleared a little bit now on the way up into Druids. And he might have had some contact along the way, battling his way. He didn't have a great start to the race. Bullied out of it a bit, dropped down to 11th place.
No, still going.
It's, smoking a bit more now. Intermittently, though. Clears as he goes down through Cooper, straight and into Surtees. So a bit of a worry that for Tom Ingram. He fully locks the right rear and drags that Goodyear tyre clean off the ground as he goes into the right-hander through McLaren. Pearson has gone through then already, and his lead is up to 3.3 seconds now. This is feeling like a nice cushion. Just keep doing what you're doing, Ronan. Doing a great job. Up towards the right-hander at Druids he goes. Into that corner now goes Aaron Taylor-Smith, Aidan Moffat. 2nd and 3rd. Tom Chilton caught them but can't find a way past them in 4th. And Ash Sutton has found his way onto the tail of his teammate.
And he's also got a black and white warning flag.
For track limits going on as well. So, we've got going slowly, I'm afraid. The Hyundai coming down into Graham Hill Bend, creeping around and going onto the Cooper Straight for Tom Ingram. We saw that smoke coming from the back of the car, but it is now slowed right down, and I'm afraid Tom Ingram looks like front left, doesn't it? Front left puncture. Was that bodywork rubbing on the tyre that's caused it? He's coming into the pits. He should be able to get back into the race, but Tom Ingram in trouble here, heading for the pits.
I think it was the bodywork that was rubbing, and we're waiting for him down in the pits. What's going to happen here? But very slowly, he's not come here yet.
No, he's just gone into the pit lane entry, but it's completely deflated that front left tyre.
Past me he comes, down to the regulation speed limit down in pit lane. Is that all that is wrong with the car? He's about to turn right. It's the exit end of pit lane that he will turn right. Turns right now. The team are there to have a look at that front left. But largely it's irrelevant because enough time has been lost already. And it's also a raise of the bonnet of the car as well.
I'm afraid so. It's a rare retirement for Tom Ingram.
And Aidan Moffat as well.
Oh, Aidan Moffat coming in as well from what was 3rd place. So Tom Chilton moves up into a podium position. Ash Sutton had already dispatched while all that was going on with Tom Ingram. He got past his teammate Dan Camish, so Sutton's up to 4th place now.
Ingram's been turned around. He's on his way. I reckon Aidan Moffat is climbing out the car. It's retirement for Aidan. Race winner from race 3 at Donington Park. Retires at Brands Hatch.
Massive shame. If you watch back the ITV coverage later today or tomorrow, they got a fantastic onboard. We saw it yesterday as well in qualifying, looking sideways on at Ronan Pearson. You can see him fully working away at the pedals, at the wheel, at the gears. Looks brilliant, and he's making his way as the race leader, looking for his first podium. But forget about the 3rd step, forget about the 2nd step. He looks like he might be going straight to the top step of the podium. And he's leading the race. The worry is, though, we've seen a few punctures with these soft tyres today, haven't we, with these very high track temperatures. It's not as bad as it was. It was 36 degrees, the track temperature. It's cooled down a bit, but it's still 32 degrees. And the top 4 are all on softs. Pearson, Taylor-Smith, Chilton and Sutton. 5th place, Dan Camish on the medium tyre. 6th place, Dan Rowbottom, also on the soft tyre. Camish is doing a good job, really, isn't he, on the medium, considering you have to go back down the order to find any more on that medium tyre.
Yeah, Aidan Moffat so disappointed. He had to take a little moment on his own after telling his dad what the problem is. A mechanical problem. He's retired.
Right, so looking at the points, Ash Sutton in 4th place. He's on course for 13 points. Obviously, having been in the pits and a lap down, Tom Ingram is looking at getting 0 points. And Colin Turkington is only in 9th place. That's going to give him 7 points. So 13 points will give Ash Sutton 93 points. Colin Turkington will move from 84 points at the moment. And he'll move on to 91 points. So Ash Sutton, I reckon by 2 points, will move into the Championship League. Colin Turkington will be second. And Tom Ingram's not going to score any points as it stands. But it could be a bittersweet day for the team because Team Bristol Street Motors have got 2 cars on a podium here. One of them on for a race win. Ronan Pearson, 3.3 seconds clear, heading his way up through the first part of the lap, keeping an eye on the battle further down the order between Mikey Doble and Andrew Watson, teammates last year when there were 3 Vauxhall Astras at Power Maxed, racing against each other this year, and they are absolutely nose to tail as they make their way through Druids. Medium time for both of these drivers. Behind them is Colin Turkington, and that little battle making its way through the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend currently, catching them up as well from a lowly grid position, up to 10th place now for Rob Huff, number 12, also on the medium tyre. Chris Smiley on the soft, he's in amongst all the mediums, he's in the points in 13th place. Darryl de Leon is on for a championship point in 15th, he's on the soft tyre as well. Jake Hill, frustrating days, not made that much progress. He's in the points, but he's only up to 14th place in the Laser Tools MB Motorsport car. Oh, Andrew Watson throws one at the inside, throws caution to the wind, and does a Tom Ingram type move to get ahead of Mikey Doble. Not quite on the grass, not quite spectacular, but that was brilliant on the brakes from Andrew Watson. Getting up the inside of Mikey Doble. Send it, he says, and he does. And now Colin Turkington creeps up the inside of the run down into the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend. And we had one kicking up the dust going up towards Druids, and we've got a slow Toyota Corolla, and that is... it's the Cupra of Darryl de Leon coming down into Graham Hill Bend. That's another one headed for the pit, so maybe he's got a puncture as well, and that might have been in kicking up the dust on the run-up towards Druids. So Darryl de Leon about to drop out of the points, I'm afraid, getting pictures of a very despondent-looking Aidan Moffat. Looking good for a podium there, wasn't he? Driving very well, but the car letting go on him. Dad Bob down there as well, looking very frustrated. But there's lots and lots of potential for that car. Darryl de Leon isn't even going to make it back to the pits, I don't think. So that's pulled off the circuit at the end of the Cooper Straight. Meanwhile, number 14, Ronan Pearson, 6 laps to go at the end of this one, leads by still 3.3 seconds. He's keeping that advantage as it was. He's doing everything now to win at, I suppose, the minimum possible speed, not to put too much stress on the tyres and on the car. So he's coming through. Tom Ingram just making his way up towards Druids, but a lap and a half down. He's got the fastest lap of the race, at least, with a 48.330 last time around. So Tom Ingram gets a point for that. They all count. Won't get any points for being in the top 15, but he has got the fastest lap point, so it was worth getting back out there for Tom Ingram in the number 80 car. Meanwhile, his teammate coming down the hill now into Graham Hill Bend as the race leader. Aaron Taylor-Smith looking more comfortable in second place, really. Tom Chilton in third, not able to close the gap and trying to deal with Ash Sutton, who's using the hybrid at the moment. In fact, Chilton, Sutton and Camish all using their hybrid currently, pressing their buttons. There's 5 laps hybrid available for Pearson and Taylor-Smith, 4 laps for Chilton in third, 5 laps still for Sutton, and 6 laps for Dan Camish. Only 3 laps for Dan Rowbottom in 6th, and only 1 lap for Andrew Watson and Colin Turkington in 7th and 8th. But only 5 laps of the race to go now. Oh, look at this. The battle for second place. Tom Chilton goes for the inside line of the way into Paddock Hill Bend alongside the Vauxhall of Aaron Taylor-Smith. And he's going to get through, charges through, and Ash Sutton, I think he's going to follow him up at Druids. So from second down to 4th. And that was another very, very late move on the brakes as Darryl de Leon goes back out of the pit lane. But another good move into Paddock Hill Bend. We've had a cracker from Tom Ingram in race 2. It was contact, though, wasn't it? Getting a replay of that. There was proper contact. Aaron Taylor-Smith won't be very happy about that. It was the last of the late breakers, and he had to force his way through, shoulder his way through. And actually, Aaron Taylor-Smith did very well to stay out of the gravel trap, but he lost enough momentum that Sutton was able to get him up at the next corner as well. Andrew Watson with a great move down there earlier on in the race as well. So Pearson, Chilton, Sutton is the new top 3. Taylor-Smith down to 4th, Camish in 5th. Taylor-Smith is still easily the leading independent driver. And Aaron Taylor-Smith trying to get back on Ash Sutton now, if he possibly can. Just giving him a little tap on the way up the hill in towards Druids. So Ronan Pearson leading the way, coming through. Tom Chilton has left them behind now in second place. 4.3 seconds the gap could be a 1-2 for Team Bristol Street Motors here. However, with their main championship hope, Tom Ingram only picking up at the moment 1 point for the fastest lap of the race, and dropping points to Ash Sutton, who is now going to pick up, of course, more points for being in third place, 15 rather than the 13. Colin Turkington's also moved up from 9th to 8th, so we'll get 8 points instead of the 7 that he had got due to that issue with Aidan Moffat. So we've got 3 laps to go. It's going to be a long, old 3 laps for Ronan Pearson. Probably not so much him, but for his family and his friends watching on, it'll feel like an eternity, this, but he's got it under control. Chilton in second, still a real battle going on here for third place. Taylor Smith doing his best to get past the reigning champion as they go through into Surtees corner, through then into the right-hander at McLaren. Camish in 5th, doing a sterling job on the medium tyre. Dan Rowbottom in 6th, comfortably ahead of Andrew Watson in 7th place. Right, 2 laps to go. He's gone through Ronan Pearson. Chilton crosses the line next. Sutton's just edged away a little bit from Taylor Smith. Camish is staying with them, medium tyre or not, and doing a noble job. Should have been many more points in the bag for him today, and he'd not had that bad luck with the puncture, because he's not been the only one to have a puncture and some bad luck today. Ronan Pearson then coming down into the left-hander. Try not to whack the curbs. Try not to overstress the tyres, they'll be saying to him on the team radio. It can go wrong. You're doing everything right, but make sure the car doesn't let go on you. Make sure the tyres hold up on you. Don't overstress them. 1 and a bit laps to go. He can afford not to go 100% now, because he's got a 4-second advantage, and he's got about 1.5 miles between him and a glorious maiden victory in the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. Ronan Pearson goes through to start the final lap of the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. Tom Chilton in second, Ash Sutton in third, and Aaron Taylor-Smith in 4th. Next up into Paddock Hill Bend. Up at Druids now then goes Ronan Pearson, the reverse grid pole position. Remember at the start of the race, he got off to a bit of a bogged down start. He lost the lead to Aaron Taylor-Smith. He gritted his teeth and he said, no, today it's my day. He went back up the inside into Clearways to get that lead position back. Mikey Doble coming in to attack further back down the order as he succumbs to 14th place, Sam Osborne. But the checkered flag is being readied, and Ronan Pearson is about to become a race winner in the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship for round 6 here at Brands Hatch. First podium, first win. Here he comes. Ronan Pearson takes a brilliant victory. Tom Chilton comes home in second. And then it's Ash Sutton with another podium in third. Aaron Taylor-Smith 4th. Dan Camish, fine effort in 5th place. Dan Rowbottom crosses the line 6th. They had a Watson, Turkington 7th and 8th, Huff in 9th, Morgan in 10th, Cook in 11th, Hill 12th. And then it should be Smiley 13th, Osborne 14th. The last points finisher, Scott Sumpton in the points in 15th place, with Mikey Doble plummeting down to 16th and out of the points in the end. The Independence winner in 4th place, Aaron Taylor-Smith. And what a performance from Ronan Pearson. He had that under control 100% of the time. Other than not quite getting it together off the line, everything else was perfect. A top bloke, a really nice guy, a great driver, and from being one of the front runners in the mini challenge just a few years ago, here he is. I can see the onboard pictures, and I reckon I can see a few tears in the eyes. He's wiping his eyes, he's waving to everybody as he makes his way through. Give him a big round of applause. It's always great to see a first-time winner, and especially at a level like this in the British Touring Car Championship. This will mean the world to him.
Lovely,
of that effort to get here, and yeah, the family will be in bits as well, I reckon, won't they?
You could see just how delighted he was inside the car. He was playing down the opportunities that he had starting on pole position in this race before the start of the race. I don't think he wanted to be put off doing his normal thing, but he's going to be so delighted. He's such a nice young man. He's worked so hard to get to where he has, and now he's a winner in the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. He's been brought up around this sport. He told me on Tin Top Tuesday, towards the end of last year, that he's been a listener since he was 6 years old. The family enjoy it, and they just consume every single bit of touring car racing that they possibly can. And he said felt a bit surreal when he was asked to be a guest on the radio show. Well, now, what's it going to feel like when he stands on the top step of the podium for a BTCC race? Because Ronan Pearson is going through the technical checks now. He will then roll up towards the number one board down in Parc Fermé. I'm sure he's going to leap into the arms of the team. Louise Goodman is there, congratulating him. Can see how much he's smiling inside the cockpit of the car. The ITV camera is there, takes a big deep breath, shakes his head, and he's crying. He's so delighted with this. He's a winner in the BTCC and he knows it. So he's just going through all the various things that he has to do in the car before he can get out of the car, and that means taking the steering wheel off, undoing the netting, unplugging the audio for the helmet, rolls forward a little bit, he emerges, and he needs to remember to put it in gear. There he does, and then put the steering wheel back, and then he can celebrate with the most amazing cheer from the crowd as he's now joined by Tom Chilton, the two together. There are so many people down here, so much RF signal, struggling a little bit with the radio mic because I need to describe this moment as everyone wants to give him a pat on the top of his head, congratulate him, have a hug. Everyone wants to be part of this moment, and Tom Chilton gets out of the car, goes over to his engineers. At the moment, Ash Sutton is just going through his technical checks. 6 out of 6. Thank you, Lou. 6 out of 6 podiums for Ashley Sutton. Louise Goodman has just told me that they are in a break on ITV, so I'm going to get the first chance to talk to Ronan, who's undoing the helmet, taking off the hands device, taking off the balaclava. Aidan Moffat comes over to congratulate him. And Ronan Pearson, you're a race winner in the BTCC.
I don't even feel real. It's an incredible feeling. It really is. Wow. Speechless.
You didn't want to think about the possibility of winning the race when you're on the grid. You wanted to play down the possibilities because you had to get on with your normal job. You had to manage the tyres. You had to do all those things, and you did.
Yeah, after all that and all those manifestation thoughts, I fluffed the start and...
Didn't go well, did it, at the start?
No, it was kind of equal to everyone else, but credit to Aaron, he made a cracker of a start. And I was just not letting that opportunity pass me, you know. There was half a car width up the inside into clearways, and that was mine. So, here we are.
You had to make the most of that you had on board. I was worried, is he going to use the tyres up too much early? I'm sure you were thinking the same.
The car was absolutely electric. Yeah, super predictable. And the last 10 laps, I just strolled it home, really. Massive thank you to the team, because that was just... the car was on rails. That soft tyre was beautiful.
It's a wonderful moment, Ronan. We'll have you on the top step of the podium in a couple of moments. ITV with Louise Goodman is next. So he's a winner in the BTCC. Justina wants to offer her congratulations. Hey, Tom, do you remember when you won your first race in the BTCC? It's something special, isn't it?
It is. I'm so happy for my teammate Ronan. I'm happy for the team. It's a 1-2. And I do remember it was back in 2004 at Silverstone, went from 10th to 1st, overtaking all the big guns, and it was an exciting race. Very, very, very happy to be here right now. I've gone from 6th to 2nd.
You were determined to get that second as well, weren't you?
Absolutely. I was gutted I wasn't on with Ingram in race 2. To be honest, we had the pace, just the luck of where it was on the first lap where you got hung out to dry. It is what it is. But in race 3, we hooked it together. And that's soft tyre. Woohoo! She's fast.
Thank you, Tom. Ash is just doing a radio interview. I'll just dive down and speak to Aaron Taylor-Smith, coming in 4th place, taking the independent win. You need to fight another day, Aaron, eh?
Fight on. You know, good race. Ronan drove so well. Can't take it away from him. He was, we just didn't have the pace to go, even if that move didn't come. But I'm happy. 2 wins, 2 independent wins, 4th in that last one. Can't complain.
Not a bad day's work. Not a bad day's work for Aaron Taylor-Smith. And I'll see if I can get a quick word with Ashley Sutton. He's just talking to Steve at the moment and doing a live interview that will appear on btcc.net /live-audio. And all appear there, as will Tin Top Tuesday at 8 o'clock on Tuesday night. And I'll see if I can get a quick word. I've only got one thing to say to you. 6 out of 6 possible podiums.
It's not bad going, is it?
It's not bad, no understatement. Do you remember the first time you won, Ronan? If you could bottle the feelings that he's got now, you'd be a millionaire.
Yeah. But that when it was at Croft for me in 2016, so I'm hoping he's going to soak up every minute of that, and I need to go and congratulate him.
And a good day for you as well.
All for me, Napa Racing UK, everyone involved, all the partner sponsors, so yeah, can't thank them enough.
Thanks, Ash. Very good. He'll go over to his ITV interview. I'm going to make my way over to the podium.